We have a major update. Isaiah Hartenstein, who injured his shoulder during Game 4, is dealing with a nerve issue, and he had to get x-rays done. We're going to break down exactly what he's dealing with, what his status for Game 5 is, and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. Isaiah Hartenstein injures his shoulder after a hard fall. I really don't know what to say anymore, guys. I don't know how to break down injury after injury after injury that the Knicks continue to deal with. Always to the key players that we need as well, too. IHart is legitimately one of the only best centers that we have left on the roster. If we lose him, the paint is basically wide open because I don't think anybody can replace him or what he means to this roster. Nobody can clearly replace OG's impact either. We have so many players missing on this team that if we miss one or two guys for even a game or two, it can shift how this series looks. And that's exactly what happened. Tonight, we are looking at Game 5 at MSG. The series is tied. This is a must-win game, in my opinion, for the Knicks. We have to win this game, go back on the road in Indiana, and close them out in 6 games. If we do that, we give our players more time to rest, and that's exactly what we need. If we're not able to do that, and we go to the Eastern Conference Finals after 7 games to play potentially the Boston Celtics, that is going to be an even tougher series than it's already going to be given the fact that the Knicks are down so many players. So we have to keep that in perspective. Keep all of that in mind. Now we have to hear that Isaiah Hartenstein is also dealing with an injury. But this injury that he has is a nerve issue. And because of it, it's causing numbness to his hand. Shout out to Ian Bagley, an SNY NBA insider, for giving us the following information. According to him, Isaiah Hartenstein said he may have a pinched nerve in his shoulder. He said x-rays came back negative and he'll be fine for Game 5. Bagley continues and states the following. The Knicks haven't been able to replace Anunoby's production on both sides of the ball, and they'll enter Tuesday's pivotal Game 5 with a starting center, that being Isaiah Hartenstein, dealing with numbness in his hand. Numbness in his hand. Your starting center in Isaiah Hartenstein, out of all of the other things he's probably dealing with as well too, is now having to deal with numbness in his hand. And if you watch Game 4, after he injured that shoulder, you could see he couldn't really move it, he couldn't really stretch it out, and he wasn't really using it that much as well too throughout the game. I noticed that. It was causing him a lot of pain and a lot of discomfort as well too. If that's the case, and there's not that much time here to recover between the games, it's likely he's going to be dealing with that headed into Game 5. Now, you may be asking yourself, is he listed on the injury report? He's actually not. According to the injury report, and shout out to Fred Katz from The Athletic, Jalen, Brunson, and Isaiah Hartenstein are not on the Knicks injury report for Game 5. Tyrese Halliburton from the Indiana Pacers is questionable, but obviously he's likely going to play. And if you were wondering about OG Anunoby, I'm sorry to say he's out as well for Game 5. Now, seeing the injury report, you might be thinking, well, they're not listed on it, so that might mean that their injuries aren't so bad. Well, maybe you could think that, but here's another way to think about it. Jalen Brunson will never use an injury or his foot injury as an excuse. Isaiah Hartenstein already knows we're down so many players. If he can play and suit up, he's going to do so. Even if he's 60, 70, or 80%, he's going to play as best as possible. That's why he's not listed on the injury report, because Hartenstein doesn't want to use it as an excuse. He doesn't want to be listed on the injury report for no good reason. If he can play and is available, he's going to suit up and he's going to play, regardless of how he feels. That's why he's not listed. Jalen Brunson, the exact same thing. What I'm trying to say is the Knicks are full of dogs. We're built of dogs. We have that type of hustle mentality. If we're the underdog, fine. Consider us the underdogs. We don't care. At the end of the day, it's next man up mentality. We will always focus on who our opponent is and try to take them down, beat them, steal the game, and move on to the next game. And that's exactly what we plan to do tonight. Game 5 at home is ours. You can look throughout the entire Knicks season, regular season and postseason. You cannot find a sequence where this team gets punched again, and doesn't respond. This is the only time I've seen the Knicks get defeated in a game and then continue to get punched and not respond. They will not let that happen again. They called a players-only meeting to discuss this group, how they need to play moving forward, and the fact that they are in the playoffs right now, the fact that this series with Indiana is a legit series because it is tied. They are at home right now, and they need to utilize this home court advantage. We did not work hard for that second seed for no reason. We got it for this exact moment. This advantage of having home court is exactly what we got it for. The home teams have won each and every game during this series. If that's going to hold true again, I have the Knicks winning game 5. They need to win it, but they need to win it in dominant fashion. Let's be real here, guys. Game 4, we got annihilated. We owe the Pacers our own form of annihilation, New York style. We're going to do that tonight. Game 5, they are going to feel the punches that we give back to them. They gave us some haymakers. We are about to give them some uppercuts, some haymakers, and we are not going to stop. They deserve each and every one of them. We didn't forget. We remember every point, every play, every lead, every trash talk, all the things you were saying to our players. I'm looking at you, Tyrese. All of your trash talking. You can't guard me, yelling in the middle of the court. You know who else heard that? Jalen Brunson. I want to see any one of your Pacers guys tonight guard Jalen. I have a feeling Jalen is going to go off, be unstoppable, and nobody you throw on him, not a Neesmith, not a Naismith, not an Andrew or an Aaron. I don't care who it is. Whoever you put on Brunson tonight is getting cooked because Brunson is due to have a big game. He had a couple of bad games due to that foot, but I have a very sneaky suspicion that tonight he is going to give us one of those Jalen Brunson classics, and we absolutely need it. He gives us that behind the strong defensive performance from this Knicks team. We will take game 5, but again, we have to dominate in game 5. That's what we need to do. We got dominated. It's time for us to dominate them. They need it. They deserve it. And I don't want to see any more yelling. No more trash talk. No more this or that coming out from Indiana or these Pacers fans. I don't want to hear it. It is our job. It is the Knicks' job to shut everybody up. We make another statement tonight by letting them know this series is not even close. It may be tied, but in reality, it's not. The Knicks own this series, and we show you why tonight. Each and every game thus far has been a must-win game. In the playoffs, no matter how many games you're up, each game is must-win because you need to win those games to close out the series. Tonight, the Knicks need to close out game 5. They need to beat the Pacers, and then they got to go back on the road and do it again. They cannot leave this up to chance or fate by having it go 7 games. We cannot do that. We have home court. We need to use it. And then we need to be what we've always been, that great road team, close out the Pacers on the road just like we did to the Sixers, and make sure we do not have this go back to MSG for a game 7. Even though we have home court, we do not want to leave it up to chance because that doesn't matter. Home court or not, it could go either way, and we don't want to have that happen. Let's control fate. Let's control our destiny, and let's go to the Eastern Conference Finals. We get that done tonight by taking care of game 5. The Knicks are winning. We are here. We are back in the greatest city on earth, New York City, the best arena in the planet, MSG. We are going to make noise. We are going to take down the Pacers, and we are absolutely taking game 5. I believe, we believe, New York believes. We have always believed in this team from the regular season to the postseason, even to now. We have never stopped believing. And no matter what, we'll never stop. We will always ride for this team. That's just how New York operates. And tonight, when the Knicks win game 5, we are going to celebrate just as we should because it means one step closer to the goal, Eastern Conference Finals. But what about you guys? What do you think about Isaiah Hartenstein having a pinched nerve in his shoulder, but x-rays coming back negative, and the fact that he's likely still going to play game 5? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below, and of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.